It's all covered in today's China Truths.
We pay 5,000 yuan every month for our mortgage, but our monthly income is barely 4,000. We still have a child to raise. When I tried to sell the house, I broke down halfway through the process. My sister said softly, "It's okay, everyone's like this now." But I couldn't even answer. I just cried. I bought that house for over 2 million yuan. Now I'm selling it for 1.3 million, and still, no one wants it. I owe over 1 million in loans and pay more than 5,000 yuan every month just to keep the bank from taking it. In 2019, I bought another home in Guangdong for 1.8 million yuan. Today, it's worth only 700,000. Houses that once cost 10,000 yuan per square meter are now back to 1,000. If someone had told me that years ago, I would have laughed. But now, it's reality. My property is in a place called Nongle Mansion. Every day, my colleagues message me, "Have you sold it yet?" I can't. I can't even afford the mortgage anymore. We used to believe we were homeowners. Now we realize we were just the fattest pigs of China's real estate era. I bought that house for 1 million yuan with a 700,000 yuan mortgage. Now buyers offer only 400,000. What can I do? If I don't sell, I suffer. If I sell, I lose everything. I bought for 1.4 million. Now it's worth barely 300,000, a loss of over 1 million. The saddest part? Many of us bought these homes fully decorated near Beijing, thinking they'd rise in value forever. But today, the dream is over. For more than 10 years, my husband and I worked from dawn to midnight, saving every penny for that dream. And this is what we got: a ruined life. Some say we deserved it for speculating, but what else could we do? We just wanted a home for our family. We sold our old apartment for 2.8 million, spent 1 million on a new one, another 300,000 on renovations, and signed a 20-year loan, 12,700 yuan every month. Then the economy crashed. My company went bankrupt. I lost my job. Now, we live only on my husband's 15,000 yuan salary. We've stopped buying clothes, fruits, even takeout. His company is laying people off too. If he loses his job, we'll have to sell the house. But no one's buying. We cut the price to 1.3 million. Still, silence. In the end, we lost both the house and the money. China has fallen into the swamp of a collapsing real estate market. Property is no longer a dream. It's a trap swallowing ordinary people whole. Millions are buried under mortgage debt. Home prices have crashed. Markets are frozen. Jobs are disappearing. From Evergrande's massive debt to countless developers going bankrupt, the bubble has finally burst. Confidence has evaporated. The myth that housing never loses value is dead. Look behind me. Endless rows of empty apartments stretch into the distance, like tombstones of broken dreams. For years, Chinese families poured their entire lives into buying a single home. They believed prices would keep rising forever, that real estate was a golden ticket to wealth. They thought they could sell to the next fool for double the price. But in the end, they became the fools themselves. When home prices rose from 1 million to 3 million, no one complained. But when they crashed back down to 1 million, everyone suddenly cried that something was wrong. Come to Evergrande, the ads once promised. Live by the lake and fish every day. But today, those buildings stand half submerged in floodwater. Elevators that were repaired again and again after water damage have turned deadly, plunging straight down and killing residents who once believed they were living the dream. In this community, only one apartment is being renovated. The rest have stood empty for years. I used to think Ghost City was an exaggeration, but standing here surrounded by silent towers, I finally understand it's real. Rows of villas lie abandoned and overgrown, their windows dark, their walls cracking, Some can be rented for as little as 500 yuan a month, or even a full year for 3,000, but you'll live surrounded by silence. No stores, no people, no life. Across the country, the same tragedy unfolds. From rural towns to big cities, there are too many homes and not enough people. No one wants to buy second-hand apartments anymore. What was once a dream has turned into a nightmare. Many developments remain unfinished, their skeletons left to rot for 5 or 6 years. Developers rush to complete the roofs so they can receive bank loans and then vanish without finishing the buildings. That's why so many complexes are topped out but uninhabitable. Some desperate families even move into half-finished towers, climbing stairs every day because there are no elevators, no electricity, just the bare concrete walls that shelter them from the rain. They have nowhere else to go. Who can truly understand their pain? Ordinary homeowners spent decades working from dawn to midnight, saving every penny, only to see their dreams crumble before their eyes. Villas worth just 100,000 yuan now sit unsold, hundreds of them. In cities once full of lights, only a few windows still glow at night. I live among them, a cement forest, a ghost island of towers where the occupancy rate is barely 10%. Even in small towns like those in Henan, local governments have started collecting property taxes, 3 yuan per square meter. If rural areas are next, villagers might be forced to tear down their own homes just to escape payment. In 2024 alone, the government introduced more than 780 policies to rescue the market, but nothing worked. Experts now admit what people already feel. China's property market has collapsed, and it will never recover. For 2 decades, the housing boom benefited the government and developers more than anyone else. China built over 600 million buildings, enough to house 10 billion people. Now, as the economy weakens, home prices in smaller cities have fallen to rock-bottom levels. At least 95 cities across 25 provinces have turned into ghost towns. In Heilongjiang, entire apartments sell for only 10,000 yuan, not per square meter, but total. Cities like Hegang and Shuangyashan are full of cheap, empty homes. They're quiet, cheap, even warm in winter, but lifeless. Tonight, I'm standing in Zhuhai's Binhai business district, another ghost city. The roads are wide, the lights are bright, the buildings are beautiful, but there's no one here. In entire apartment blocks, only 1 or 2 windows are lit. It's a haunting sight, a city built for millions, but home to almost no one. This is the reality of China's housing collapse. Dreams turned to ruins and hope buried under concrete. Homes that once symbolized security have become heavy chains dragging families into debt. In Wuzhou, Guangxi, Evergrande's once grand project has turned into a wasteland. The 3,000-acre development that once drew thousands of buyers now lies silent. One woman who bought her home for 3.8 million yuan in 2021 saw its value drop to 1.2 million. She refused to leave the sales office in protest, but no one listened. When prices were high, no one shared the profits. Now that they've fallen, everyone wants revenge. In Shijiazhuang, a house worth 1.5 million yuan in 2020 now sells for 700,000. Across China, countless families are trapped, unable to sell, unable to pay, unable to escape. The myth that housing never loses value has shattered. What remains is silence, debt, and the echo of a dream that once promised happiness but delivered despair. 6 million Chinese families face losing their homes. A shocking report from China's financial research community has revealed the darkest chapter yet in the country's housing crisis. Nearly 6 million Chinese families are now at risk of losing their homes. The number of mortgage defaults has doubled in just 3 years, a sign that the real estate collapse has entered a dangerous new stage. According to the Bank of China Research Institute's Q4 2025 Economic and Financial Outlook report, China's nationwide mortgage default rate has surged to 3.7%, more than twice the 1.6% recorded in 2022. In some third- and fourth-tier cities, The rate has exceeded 5%. Financial analysts warn that this figure, shocking as it is, might still underestimate the true scale of the problem. Based on official financial data, independent media have calculated that 1.87 million borrowers have already missed 3 months of payments, officially entering default. Another 2 million households have negotiated with banks to delay repayment, and 2 million more have entered the foreclosure process. Combined, that's around 6 million families on the brink of losing their homes. For banks, the fallout is massive. Once a property enters foreclosure, it typically sells for 30 to 50% below market value, and after years of legal procedures, the actual recovery for banks may fall below half of the original loan. Yet many banks hesitate to push foreclosures forward, preferring to delay losses on paper. Behind these numbers lies the silent suffering of millions. Homes once considered the safest assets are now ticking financial time bombs. As more foreclosed properties flood the market, housing prices could collapse even further, shattering public confidence and trapping families in an endless cycle of debt and despair. To make matters worse, China's real estate data is increasingly opaque. The Chinese Communist Party rarely releases detailed figures, and much of the information comes from independent analysts and leaked reports. After the Bank of China's study sparked public concern, officials quietly deleted all references to mortgage default rates from the updated version of the report. The message, however, was already clear. China's housing dream has turned into a nightmare, and millions of families now stand on the edge of losing everything they worked their entire lives for.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.